hour and 45 minutes into this, I decided that rather than go to sleep tonight, I was going to do something a little bit wild. I decided to go ahead and make a game. And I want to make that game playable in a way that is at least somewhat enjoyable. It doesn't have to be perfectly balanced, it doesn't have to be a finished game, but I want to finish something because I have had ADHD my whole life, and there have been a lot of times where I have not finished anything. So, I'm going to finish this. That is my intention. This is what we're doing. We are building a game where there is a base on the left-hand side and there's a base on the right-hand side, and they both launch missiles at each other. And the first one to die loses. Pretty simple. So, we'll get into how it balances, how that turns into interesting gameplay, etc. All that stuff happens later. For right now, know that this is the player side and this is the enemy side. Except I reversed that. So I'm just going to go ahead and change this to be red because I cannot handle that it would work any other way. There we go. Perfect. Like it never even happened. So this is now the player side. This is the enemy side. Right now what the enemy has is a shield wall and a single building. If we look at our scripts, this is what I expect to happen. The missile is programmed to, on update, which is called every frame, move towards the enemy based on its current target. And that target is set by the launcher that makes it, which is my next step, actually. I forgot about that. I need to do it before I can even test this, don't I? No, I can manually set a target in order to test this. That'll make sense for right now. I don't have focus issues. You have focus issues. So, unit tag target is not currently made public. Let's change that. This is going to allow me to see it down here and play with it. So now I can go and add a target. I think I'm going to have it attack the building. So I'll just target it right there. And now if I hit play, theoretically, what should happen is the missile script, which is right here, and it's loaded onto my missile prefab object. What it's going to do is tell the missile to move every frame towards the enemy object. And then when it hits something, anything, it's going to check its collider and see, basically the collider just means it hit something. It finds out it hit something. And it's going to go, okay, I hit something. Does that thing have the same unit tag I do? If it does, do nothing. If it doesn't, though, that means it's not one of our units. It's an enemy of some kind, and we need to destroy it. So if that's the case, the missile is going to blow up, deal damage to it, and we're going to see that happen, hopefully. Hopefully. Let me make sure. I'm going to go ahead and double check here. If this is like the moment of truth, so I got to double check and make sure that I've got this right. My health integer is set up. It does take damage. It has 100 health. My missile right now only deals 50 damage. I'm going to go ahead and make 3 of them then to make this test more fun. Now, there are things I haven't set up yet. Like, for example, it doesn't have sounds and things when it gets blown up. That doesn't really matter to me right now. I just want to know if the missiles are going to launch or not. So, this is my game camera. I'm going to go ahead and lower it a little bit because it's too high. 700, 600, 500? Yeah, it's a little too far out, isn't it? I like that. 600. Let's go. Moment of truth. All right, these should be rocketing over here as soon as it starts loading. Or as soon as it finishes loading, whatever. Let's see what happens. Ooh, we have missiles on the move. We have missiles on the move. Okay, they're a little bit slow, though. So I'm going to go ahead and I can live edit this because Unity is amazing. So I'm going to go over here and make this. Let's go with 30. That'll be better. Oh, we can even see our little smoke effect coming out. Look at it. It's coming off. All right. And now let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. Are they going to do damage to this shield wall or not? Let me go ahead and pull it up. Its hit points are right here. That's what we're looking at. So we lose 50 for each time it gets hit. And it didn't even explode. It went right through it. Also didn't explode, went right through it. Okay. So, and now my missiles are dancing. My missiles just danced. That's what happened. Um, I know what caused that. It doesn't matter. I got to figure out why that didn't work. So first off, let's change our missile speed, just so we don't have to deal with that again. Any changes we make during the live game are going to go away when we're back into test mode. So I'm going to change it to 30. And then I'm going to go to the shield and see what is wrong with you. Unit tag enemy. Rocket's unit tag is player. 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 And up here, my tag is player. 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 And shield tag is enemy. Okay. So, I'm going to check layers real quick. Those are all on default, which means it's none of those things. My next attempt is going to be to add a rigid body to the shield and also to the buildings. I don't know if this is necessary. I don't know if this is going to affect anything. I don't know if it's going to help anything. But sometimes it's helped me before. So we'll just try it. It'll be a good starting place. Okay. So missiles are rocketing over. And they actually look, I think they look pretty good. Let's take a look at one. Yeah, that's exactly how I wanted you to fly. That's precisely it. You're doing a great job. You are. You're actually obeying my instructions completely. Like, it's doing exactly what I told it to do. So it's totally my fault, but I don't care. Okay. Oh, it also flew. Did they fly? They did fly under it. I see. Okay, I've got all kinds of issues happening now. Okay. That's programming for you. Scale 200. That'll take care of that problem. Okay, let's see what we got. Private void. This is on my missile. Mono behavior. On trigger enter. Collider other. Okay. If other dot compare tag. If other dot compare tag. It's not the same as unit tag. Okay. I believe I made a mistake. I believe I know exactly what causes this. I believe that toggle was wrong. I believe it was saying check and see if words and stuff. Who cares, right? Like, let's just get this done. 5, 15, 10. Let's try that. Well, that's an interesting looking rocket, but it is working. Okay, shield wall. Are you going to deal damage this time? Are you going to explode? What is the verdict? Oh, you hit it and you pushed through it? What? What? Okay. Target building transform. That part's working. Unit tag player. Okay, let's try this. We'll just go with that. It'll be easier. So when you're debugging a program, there's a lot of different ways to do it. Everyone has their own method, right? But at the end of the day, the simplest, easiest, in my experience, is just put everything in, put all the debug log statements in, and see what it's doing. And then go from there. It'll show you exactly what you need to fix it. Like, there's no sense in doing it halfway most of the time. Okay, debug log. Other type is not null. Okay. And I could go through and add these debug statements, but this is checking to see how far I'm getting in the program. If I get all the way to here, I'll already be happy, and then I can go ahead and deal with the rest of the troubleshooting. That won't be an issue. So let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Oh, I can make these rockets faster. I'm going to go ahead and do it in live mode so that they stay faster. We'll make their speed 50, and we'll go ahead and also... these are the kind of brain dead, brainless, whatever. My stupid moves I make sometimes. Like there's no reason for me to be doing it any harder than it needs to be. So I should be moving them quicker or closer, making this quicker. Okay, still went through did not destroy object. Let's check our debug log. Absolutely nothing came out. That means our colliders are not working. So we got to figure out why. Does my rocket script have a missile on it? Or does my rocket object have the missile script on it, rather? It does. It absolutely does. So that means I know this whole script is there and it's going to be running. Using Unity Engine, that should be fine with this. Let's see, that fixes it. Ooh, progress, progress. Beautiful. I have touched something. Collider tags match. Okay, so maybe I was the one who was wrong, and ChatGPT was right. Let's add that back because it says it broke here. Nope, that was not the problem, was it? Oh, could it be? Could it be that we have yet again forgotten a parenthesis? Or a bracket in this case. Is that all that it is? Could be we're just missing a bracket. Could be we're just missing the bracket. Let's see. Collider tags matched. That's some BS. Collider tags matched. Okay, so that means that flip switch was correct the way I had it. It was incorrect when ChatGPT made it. So, collider tags matched and return. That's good. Yep. Otherwise, okay, this should be solid. Let's try it. See, programming is all about tweaking. Like, you can't... I don't care how good of a programmer you are. If you're running on the fly, you're not going to get it right the first time. That's part of... Oh, my gosh! Oh, my gosh! Did you see that? You see that? Okay. Keeping my cool here. So if you look, the shield wall on the right has now been struck by our rockets that are working. And because of this, it has exploded. Additionally, the building over here has been struck one time. So instead of having 100 health, like this building over here does, right? This building, I have this one selected on the left. It has 100 health. Building on the right only has 50. That means our damage is working on the building script too. This is how we get there. Let's do this. Okay, we can remove our debug statements. We won't need them again for right now. But I usually comment them out whenever I've done this because if I had to debug it there one time, I probably won't have to debug it there again. But sometimes it's still helpful to see those, like to see the logic process because I might have to debug it farther down the line. And this will like just easily let me check him again, if that makes sense. If it doesn't, then don't worry about it. It doesn't really matter. Deal damage worked. Destroying objects worked. I need to add explosions. And destroy game object. I've got to do the whole destroy with delay. I always dislike this part. There is that option too. We just have to use a coroutine or a timer. You could use a timer. It's not so bad. I'm trying to figure out the best way to handle destroying the object and keeping the animation playing. But we'll get to that in a little bit. So I guess I'll start recording again when I get to that point.